Good morning, greetings, friends, and welcome to The Bright Side, your nutritional program dedicated to the understanding of the vast world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. I'm your host, Pharmacist Ben, nutritional pharmacist from Boulder, Colorado. I use nutritional supplements where other healthcare practitioners use toxic pharmaceutical drugs and sometimes deadly medical procedures. If you suspect that there are natural nutritional roads to your health and vitality and well-being and to addressing your health challenges, whatever they may be, but you don't know where to begin, you have come to the right place. As you listen to The Bright Side every day, you are more and more in control of your body, you are more and more knowledgeable, and you know you can overcome any health challenge. That is why we are here every day on The Bright Side, helping clear up the sometimes confusing world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. Over the last 33 years of practicing pharmacy, I have seen drug-free recoveries from diabetes, hypertension, obesity, skin diseases like acne, psoriasis, eczema, rosacea, digestive ailments, autoimmune issues of all kinds, recoveries that by the standards of modern medicine can only be called a miracle, but what is in the world of the body, what is in the world of biology, standard operating procedure. Because the human biological system is a healing system, it's a regenerating system, it is designed divinely to heal and renew itself on a moment-to-moment basis, and while some folks may call that a miracle, it really is just the way the body works. If you have questions about health, nutrition, prescription drugs, if you want to wean yourself off your meds and get on a good nutritional supplement program, we are here for you on The Bright Side. We welcome your phone calls. 844-236-6010, 844-236-6010 is our number, 844-236-6010. If you have questions about the longevity products, the longevity business, health challenges you or a loved one may be dealing with. If you have questions about ingredients, formulations, something you may have heard about, read about, of course, if you have a success story you'd like to share, or if you just want to contribute to the conversation, 844-236-6010 is our number on The Bright Side. If you want to purchase longevity products, go to brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com, and make sure you take a look at the Bright Side Ben team for a one-time $30 fee. You can start yourself a longevity business, be a part of the Bright Side Ben team, and help sell and promote and change the world with the power of good nutrition, the power of a good nutritional supplement program. For a one-time $30 fee, you can be a business for yourself. If that sounds intriguing, click on the Join the Team link at brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com. If you want to purchase our True Skin Health products, and we do have a couple new products up at truthtreatments.com. If you haven't checked our website, we're also updating the website, and that hopefully will be up sometime soon, truthtreatments.com. All our Truth Treatment products are formulated without preservatives, fragrances, fillers, waxes, emulsifiers, water, silicone, oil, nothing your skin doesn't need or doesn't want. Truthtreatments.com, truthtreatments.com. All right, welcome back to The Bright Side, friends. We've been talking about the generic nature of the disease process. It's really interesting to me how, despite the fact that we all know the medical model doesn't, even the medical model itself admits, it can't do anything about most of our health challenges. The medical model cannot do anything about most of our health challenges. This is so important to understand because for most people, when we're sick, you just go to the doctor. Yet, the failure of the medical model belies the fact or reveals the fact that the model itself doesn't work for diabetes. It doesn't work for heart disease. It doesn't work for cancer. It doesn't work for autoimmune problems. It doesn't work for hormonal issues. It just doesn't work for the kinds of health challenges we confront. It's because it's not focusing on the problem. It's focusing on the symptom, and the symptom is not the problem. That is the key message or the key lesson that we should be learning from the failure of the medical model. The symptom is not the problem. It's just how the problem reveals itself. The problem has to be addressed, not the revelation of the problem. The problem has to be addressed, and here's the thing. The problem is within for the most part, is it within our life? It occurs within our lifestyle choices, for better or worse. The problem occurs within the ways we live our life, the choices we make. That is so powerful. You know, if you say that to some people, they'll tell you you're blaming the victim. I say it's giving the victim responsibility. It's giving the victim control. It's not blaming the victim, it's giving the victim control. But we have a medical model that doesn't blame the victim. It says, we'll take care of it for you. It's not your fault. Now, that may sound nice, but it doesn't work. As it turns out, all diseases have the same breakdown processes underneath them, and that's the key. If you see the same kinds of biochemical disruptions underneath multiple sclerosis and diabetes, you'll see that the symptoms of multiple sclerosis and diabetes, which are clearly different, aren't the point. The point is the inflammatory factors. The point is the disruption in how the cells are working, whether it's the nerve cells in the case of multiple sclerosis or the pancreatic cells in the case of diabetes. It's a cellular disruption, either way. And the fact that one occurs in the nerves doesn't make it different at the causal level than the fact that the other occurs at a different level, at the level of the pancreas. Medicine doesn't account for any of this. Medicine doesn't account for the generic nature of disease as we have structured the medical model. It's because it's old. It's antiquated. It's like much of healthcare is based on these antiquated ideas that were functional at a certain time in history but are no longer functional. And the proof of its lack of functionality is the fact that look how sick we are. Clearly, it's obvious. Medicine is based on the science of classification. Think about how we go to the doctor. When we're sick, we go to the doctor. We don't feel good. Tell the doctor, you got a certain specific complex of symptoms. You just don't feel good. There's a certain procedure that happens. The doctor will take your vital stats. He'll take your blood pressure. He'll check your height, your weight, your lungs. There's certain things he does. Then he'll ask you about your symptoms. You tell him what's wrong. Then he adds everything up in his head or in a book. He adds up all the symptoms and he adds up all your vitals, blah, 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 and he puts it into a category. He classifies it. This classification and categorization is all based on a system. It's a system where symptoms and combinations of symptoms are linked to names. That system is called the system of diagnosis, and the science is actually called the science of nosology, Nosology. And it's how all doctoring is done. It's the doctor-patient diagnosis triad, I guess you could call it. So you got symptoms, you tell him your symptoms, he sticks it in a book or a computer, or he knows it, or he recognizes it, and he calls it a certain thing, and then you have a diagnosis. You have Marie-Charcot tooth disease. You have hidradenitis suppurativa. You have Wilson's disease. You have Duchenne's contracture. There's 12,000 of these things, plus. There's probably more because some of them have two different names. I saw a commercial yesterday for something called TD, tardive dyskinesia. So you see it, by the way, drug companies are always looking for diagnoses. And you see these all the time. There's new ones that come out all the time. These diagnoses, they can get linked up to specific protocols, drug protocols, and then drug companies advertise them. They say, do you have ED? Do you have TD? Do you have CVD? There's dozens of these little acronyms that are being advertised, all targeting specific diagnoses and protocols that you make money off of by selling drugs. The margin on these things are ridiculous. There's no product on the planet that has a higher profit margin from the time something is produced to the time end user pays for it. The only thing that's even close are illegal drugs, like cocaine. That's probably more. But it's along the same lines. They take what is really waste material. That's the root, the fundamental root base of most drugs is stuff that comes from oil processing. It's just waste material, and it gets structured, and they do their magic in these huge factories, and they create these compounds. And they sell them for thousands of dollars. The end user, by the time end user gets them, there's tens of thousands of dollars, maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars in a bottle. So anyway, this whole idea of diagnosis and nosology and all these different diagnoses, it's locked into place because there's a lot of money to be made in them. And not just with the drug companies, but also with specialists and specialties. Has a specialist ever reversed any? They'll tell you they can't cure any disease. They'll say right there, we can't cure any diseases. They will tell you, an honest specialist will tell you that, we can't cure any diseases. Even a dishonest one will have to say. They say that we'll control the symptoms. That's what we'll do. Nobody's going to reveal this. Nobody's going to tell you there's a generic nature to the disease process that you can control out of the comfort of your own living room because there's so much money to be made. Who's going to kill the goose that laid the golden eggs? All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number. We'll be back after this. on the bright side. I'm Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number. We got a whole bunch of people on the line here, so we'll get your calls a little early. The reason I got into what this kind of came to my attention this morning, all the stuff I'm talking about with diagnosis, I read an article in the journal Cosmetics and Toiletries, really cool skin and cosmetics journal. I get it every month. It's always got interesting things about the skin business, the standard way skincare is done, not the weird way that I do it, but the standard way skincare is done. Anyway, the article caught my attention. The role of gut health in the formation of acne. This was an article that talked about a gal named Laura Cooksey, who is the co-owner and founder of a clinic called Face Reality Acne Clinic, and she talked about how gut health impacts skin, specifically acne. I've been talking about this for years, and it's just common sense, and you don't need to see a journal article. Whenever I read journal articles that point out the obvious and point out things that I've been talking about for 35 years, I always get a kick out of it. Congratulations. Now, all of a sudden, the medical model, the mainstream model in this case, is recognizing the link between gut health and acne. Now, they do go on and say that they say gut issues do not cause acne, but are among exacerbating variables. Well, that depends on how you define cause. There is certainly a causal connection between the gut and the development of acne, because we know that there's a major link between insulin, this is traditional acne, between insulin and acne, and insulin is, among other things, is involved in how the body processes sugar at the level of the digestive system, the so-called gut. The gut is specifically the intestine, but the digestive system. I consider blood sugar problems to be part of the digestive issue, part and parcel of digestive health issues, because the pancreas is part of the digestive system, and insulin is controlling blood sugar, which is coming in through food. So I'm linking diabetes and insulin, which are clearly connected to acne, to the digestive system. Even without that, though, leaky gut creates inflammatory responses in the skin. In fact, I would go so far as to say any skin issue has at least some element of cause at the level of the gut. I would go as far as to say 100%. But at least some level cannot be argued. I don't even know how you could argue 100%. I suppose there's contact kinds of things. See, here's the thing. If something's in the blood, it's in the gut. Unless you're injecting it through the skin, it has to have started off in the digestive system. Now, Miss Cooksey, in her presentation, talks about the link between the gut and mood-regulating hormones. This is a whole nother issue. She's saying that when your digestive tract is messed up, your mood-regulating hormones will be messed up, and that will cause inflammation, and that will cause excessive sebum and cell division. And she's 100% correct in that case. But it's more than just gut-regulating neurotransmitters. It's also leaky gut, and it's also blood sugar, and pretty much the bottom line, the point is pretty much any skin health challenge, pretty much any health challenge has to be related to the gut. Now, I know that it sounds crazy that maybe not to you guys, but to the average person, when I say, no matter what your problem is, it's going to be located start off at the level of the digestive system, 99.99% all the time, unless you're injecting something in through your blood. And this has to do with the understanding of what inflammation is. You hear the term inflammation all the time. Inflammation is the calling card of the immune system. It's how the body protects itself. The immune system is how the body protects itself, and inflammation is how it shows up. So we know inflammation is involved with all chronic health challenges that I'm talking about, microinflammation, and the inflammatory response is part of the defensive response. That means there's an offending agent, because you can't have a defensive response without a offending agent. They're synonyms. They're synonymous. The offending agent has to come into the bloodstream somehow. How does it come into the bloodstream? Well, yeah, you could inject things, and probably you could breathe things, but that's rare. Got all kinds of stuff that keeps you from breathing stuff. And although, that case could be made for fungal and mold issues, and probably toxicity in the air. But for the most part, what do we do every day to put stuff right into our blood? We eat. It's not a leap. It's common sense. It's biochemical common sense, which is different from medical common sense. Biochemical common sense, or biochemistry, is not the same as doctor chemistry. Doctor chemistry is called clinical chemistry. That's what doctor chemistry is officially called. Clinical chemistry is the chemistry of your cholesterol's too high, your blood pressure's too low, your blood sugar's too this, your autoimmune antibodies, and your thyroid stimulating hormone, and your osteoclasts, and your blood urea, nitrogen, and all the other diagnostic measurements. So those are all part of clinical chemistry. It's not the same as biochemistry. What we talk about in this program is biochemistry, not clinical chemistry. Your doctor talks about clinical chemistry, and unfortunately, functional medicine and many alternative practitioners also focus on clinical chemistry. I don't buy into clinical chemistry because it's too much based on statistics. Too much of it is based on statistics. Well, no, it is all based on statistics, and human beings are not statistics. All right, 844-236-6010 is our number. Let's say good morning to Elaine in Alaska. What's up, Elaine? How you doing?
Hey, good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How can we help you today? Oh, did you tell me about the earthquake real quick? There was an earthquake up there, wasn't there?
Well, that was just a baby.
That was a baby? Wasn't it just recently?
Yeah.
Or did I talk to you about that already? I think I remember talking. Yeah, last time I talked to you about that. That's right.
Last November, it was like a 7.8, and it lasted for a minute. It was just...
And this one was, what was this one, a 5?
It was 5.0. Yeah. It was nothing.
So this was a baby earthquake.
Yeah. So I tell you, it's beautiful, but the Earth is powerful.
Earth is powerful. That is true. And we're just little. The Earth is powerful, and we are very tiny. Tiny.
Yeah.
But we think we're really important. But we think we're important, don't we? We think we're important. We think our problems are important. But in the scheme of things, So anyway, what's going on, Elaine?
Yeah, I have my brother-in-law. He's in Denver. He's 42 today, actually. And
happy birthday.
He's recently been diagnosed. The Latin name is so long, I'm not going to even try to say it, but it's a type of cancer, a skin cancer on his leg. And I think he started radiation yesterday.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's local radiation. I don't know if it's systemic. I'm not sure. But and he's also vegan, and he's also a recovering heroin addict.
Okay.
Really,
so he's got some stressors on his body. That's how you want to regard skin cancer. There's this intuition we have about the skin there's a lot of intuitions we have about the skin that aren't correct. One of those intuitions about the skin is that it's somehow separate from the inside of our body. We always say that skin is the body's largest organ. We talk about it. If somebody were asked the question, they would say, oh yeah, okay, the skin is part of the body. But there's this sort of intuition that it's different, categorically different from the inside of the body. Does that make sense? You follow me?
Right.
So when we treat skin skin diseases or we talk about skin cancer, we don't link it to the internal milieu the way we do the liver, the bone, or the blood, or the pancreas, or the other various parts of the body. We somehow separate it out. And that allows us to come up with these protocols for skin cancer, or even to treat skin cancer differently than we treat or understand other cancers, and it doesn't serve us. We shouldn't be doing that. Skin cancer is just cancer of a cellular cancer like breast cancer is, or prostate cancer, or any other cancer, and it comes from the same problem. So hang on. We'll finish up when we come back from our break. Elaine, I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll be back after this. Okay, we're back on The Bright Side. I'm Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number, and we do have a couple lines open for you. If you want to purchase longevity products, call 866-735-2470, 866-735-2470, or head to brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com. We've got various nutritional supplements and protein powders and other sundry products, including devices, at truthnourishment.com, and blog posts and news stories there as well. Truthnourishment.com, also pharmacistben.com, and also truthtreatments.com. Got lots of websites for you, and all of them have great information, especially criticalhealthnews.com. I do videos on that one every couple of weeks, me and my friend Jonty. We've got all kinds of free information on all of our websites, because it is all about information. Information is power. Actually, you know what? Information is potential power. Action is power. It's information plus action. You gotta be informed, and then you got to act upon what you are informed of. And we're talking to Elaine here. I'm going to get Elaine up. Elaine in Alaska. Elaine, you there? I have Elaine.
Hi, Ben.
Hi, Elaine. Okay, so skin cancer, your brother, you said that he was a former heroin addict. And what else did you tell me? One other thing you said?
He's vegan. So
he's vegan, right. So,
yeah.
Okay, so here's the deal. Here's the dealio. Skin cancer is the result of, first of all, there's no such thing as skin cancer. There's no such thing as breast cancer. There's no such thing as bone cancer. There's no such thing as liver cancer, etc. What do I mean by that? There is bone cell cancer. There is breast cell cancer. There is skin cell cancer. And when you break it down and get down to the root level of the cancer, you'll see a cell gone awry. It's not the organ that's the problem. It's the cell. Do you follow me? And that's what we want to start focusing on, the cell. Why is that important? Because you see, the cell just needs a few things. When we're sick, whether it's cancer or whether it's acne or whether it's arthritis or anything in between, it's all a function of cells that are being starved, suffocated, and toxified. Period. End of story. They're either starving of nutrients, they're either suffocating, being robbed of oxygen, or they're being toxified. Their toxic wastes are accumulating. Acids are the hallmark feature of wastes. That's what the problem with too much acid in the body is. Acids are part of the metabolic process. They're end results of the metabolic process. And when acids aren't cleared out effectively, they start to accumulate, and that's toxicity. Sugar is also a toxin. Drugs are toxins. Chemicals that are foreign to the body are toxins. There's lots of toxins, but the biggies are sugar and acids. With me? Yeah. So, skin cancer is the same thing. It's on the skin and it's outside of the body, but it doesn't make it different in terms of its where the disease is located, its nexus of disease. The nexus of breakdown is the skin cell. Sometimes it's the basal cell. We call that basal cell carcinoma. Sometimes it's the squamous cell. We call that squamous cell carcinoma. But it's a cell. It's either squamous or basal, but it's the cell. And what cell is it? It's the keratinocyte or the skin cell. Okay? Now, it doesn't matter that it's a skin cell because you got to do the same thing. So you said he's a heroin addict. You said he's a vegan, or former heroin addict. So that tells me there's probably been a lot of duress in the body. There's all kinds of stuff that comes along with that. Then there's the veganism. Veganism tends to be high in sugar, whether he knows it or not. Veganism can also be made with a lot of GMO stuff. Veganism is also, if you're not as conscious, if you're not a strategic, we'll say, vegan, you tend to subsist on a lot of processed foods. Okay, is he a strategic vegan where he's only eating fresh veggies? Is he that kind of vegan? Or is he the kind of vegan that eats the vegan-friendly pizza in the frozen food section? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Okay, so I don't know which one is he? Is he the vegan who's only eating veggies that are picked in the garden? Or is he the vegan who's eating the soy burger, veggie burgers in the freezer section?
I would have to guess the latter.
Okay, well, there you go. So there's that element. So what I'm saying is that he's going to be wanting to treat the skin cancer that way, primarily. And I don't want to say primarily because I don't know how far along he is. Sometimes you're so far along you need to do things like radiation. I don't know the answer to that, and skin cancer can be fatal and can be a big problem. So I'm not telling him what to do in terms of what he's doing right now. I'm just saying he should be adding these other things in. Looking at nutritional supplementation, especially vitamin C, also selenium, also iodine, also essential fats, also vitamin E. I mean, it's really endless. So I don't want to isolate too many things, but those are some that stand out. Okay? Laying off of sugar. Laying off the carbs, staying away from the carbs, making sure he's improving the oxygenation and respiration process through SDR breathing, and then also exercise. Exercise is a couple things. It moves things around. The lymph, the toxicity comes out in the lymph. This is for all cancers, you guys. That's the beauty of the system, is skin cancer is now not treated differently than bone cancer. It's the same thing. Cancer is cancer because a skin cell is a cell and a bone cell is a cell. They're all cells. You follow me? So that's the basic generic protocol. Now, if he's really far along, you might want to do something like hyperbaric oxygen, where you drive oxygen. And this is for everybody else who's dealing with cancer issues. Hyperbaric oxygen, where you really drive oxygen into the system. Hyperbaric means high pressure. I would be meditating, doing relaxation techniques, in addition to the slow, deep breathing, just muscle relaxation techniques, maybe body work. it may be don't forget to leverage the emotional and mental aspects as well. If he has a history of heroin abuse, that usually implies there's mental and emotional things going on, psychological things going on, we'll say, and then also even spiritual crisis. You want to leverage all that as well. So basically speaking, the nutritional supplements are key. He may want to do intravenous vitamin C, depending on how far along he is. Also, hyperbaric oxygen, as I say, the whole Healthy Start Pack, and keep his blood sugar down. This is generic, you guys. One day, I'm not even going to be necessary on the radio anymore because this whole generic nature is just going to click, and you're going to say it's the same thing, and it is the same thing. Cancer cells are cells that are under duress by starvation, suffocation, intoxication, and that's the same with your pancreas cells when you have diabetes, your liver cells when you have fatty liver disease, your intestinal cells when you have Crohn's disease. Same idea. All right, Elaine, I'm going to let you go. I hope I helped you out. Thank you so much for your call. Appreciate it, and thanks for being such a loyal listener. I appreciate that as well. Yes, ma'am? What were you going to say?
Never, ever stop what you're doing. You can't be replaced.
Well, I'm not going to be necessary is what's going to happen, and that's the job of a good skincare professional or a good healthcare professional is to make themselves irrelevant, and that's what I'm trying to do is make myself irrelevant. Yeah. Thank you, Elaine.
Empowerment is health. All right, bye-bye.
Take care. Okay, bye. All right, Barry, what's going on, buddy? How you doing? Barry, you there? No Barry. I don't know where Barry is. I'm going to put him on hold, and we'll go to Rhea and say good morning to Rhea. Rhea, you there?
Hi, Pharmacist Ben. How are you?
Hi, Rhea. What's going on?
Hi. I've become a little bit more intelligent listening to your show.
Okay, well, that's good.
I sort of...
You're not blaming the caffeine. You're not blaming the caffeine, are you? That was a stretch.
I was connecting the dots, and I think I might have SIBO.
Yeah, well, that's pretty likely, I would say. Most people who don't know about these kinds of things are going to have some degree of SIBO. SIBO stands for small intestinal. I'm saying this for the listeners, Rhea, not for you. You obviously know it. Mm-hmm. Small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. And it is a very likely consequence of the standard American diet. I don't know, you're doing the standard Japanese diet. I don't know what that is, but but the idea of lots of sugar, lots of carbs, plus chlorinated water and antibiotics all conspire to mess up the bacteria in the small intestine. That's called SIBO, and a lot of people have it. Hang on, Rhea, we got to take a break. I'm Pharmacist Ben. We'll be back on the bright side right after this. We are back on the bright side. We're talking to Rhea in Japan about small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, and nothing will wreck the skin more than SIBO. SIBO is associated with all kinds of health issues, but especially skin problems that are intractable because so many things can throw off the gut bacteria. So is that what you're attributing your skin issues to? I mean, I agree with you. I'm sure there's a degree of that. Is that what you're thinking?
Yes, and I've got these nail ridges and my hair fall and the bloating and
you got all of it. You got all of it. Yeah, you got all of it.
I think I've got like 80% of the symptoms when I look over the internet.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to treat it.
You know about FODMAPs? Are you familiar with FODMAPs?
Yes. Yes. I've done a lot of studying and I've listened to your archives and everything. And my question is, the use of herbal antibiotics like grapefruit seed extract, do you recommend that? Or
no?
I did hear you recommend stuff like that.
No,
and I
never talk about that. I think that's pretty scammy. Grapeseed extract especially, not all herbs, but grapeseed extract is especially scammy. I don't buy into that. It's not a very good preservative. Has some, just because something has some antibacterial, antimicrobial properties doesn't make it like a preservative or antiseptic or antibiotic. You know what I'm saying? It has some of those properties, but you need way more than that. No, it's basically feeding the wrong bacteria, and at this point you could be feeding the wrong bacteria with almost everything you're eating is the problem. You know what I'm saying?
So what can I do?
First of all, I'd be fasting for a couple of days. Absolutely be fasting for a couple of days.
Without the bone broth? Without bone broth?
Totally
like
fasting.
No liquid fasting?
Totally fasting. Totally fasting. And you can have problems with SIBO with bone broth too, by the way, because bone broth protein can feed everything. Yeah, you can have problems with everything. It's a real mess. It's a real mess. And then if you're drinking chlorinated water, which I imagine you're probably doing in Japan. I don't know. Is it chlorinated water there? I don't know.
Actually, at home I take filtered water, so I don't think that's a problem. But
okay, you never know. I mean, you're going to have to really isolate things. It's going to be tough. Fast for a couple of days. Start isolating problem foods. You may have to deal with a little bit of inflammation if you can get rid of the big stuff first, and then later get the smaller stuff, and then start using things that support the gut. Probiotics, fermented food, digestive enzymes. Work upstream in the stomach with digestive enzymes. Apple cider vinegar, that whole thing. Everything we talk about with the digestive system, pretty much everything. You might want to throw in some glutamine powder. But the strategy of killing killing the wrong bacteria, that's not a very good strategy, in my opinion.
Okay, but the stuff all over the internet is like, how do you get rid of the bad bacteria? Because I'm doing a lot of the enzymes, the probiotics.
You don't get rid of the bad bacteria. The good bacteria get rid of the bad bacteria. Do you follow?
So then we should focus on feeding the good bacteria.
Correct.
Be like
the environment, everything you're supposed to do for good health and for the gut, everything you're supposed to do for the gut works because it supports good bacteria over bad bacteria. The bacterial population in the gut and in the body, really, everywhere in your body, is extremely complex and interactive with your cells and with each other. It's a vast, complex network, and you can't really do anything about specific bacteria. What you can do is you can create an environment conducive to the right bacteria. Evolution is taking care of everything for you. Do you follow?
So
billions of years or millions of years in the human body have gotten together to help you help the system help you. You understand what I'm saying? All you got to do is get the environment right. The system will take care of it.
So
you got to get the environment right. Yes, ma'am.
Nothing like wild oregano oil or anything like that. You don't recommend any of that.
I mean, it might help a little, but it's the environment. It might help a little. I don't know if it's not going to help at all. Maybe it'll help a little, and that'll be in your favor. But I'm focusing on getting rid of the problem. Try it. See if it helps you. I'm focusing on getting rid of the problem. Yes.
Can we get rid of this problem? Because it seems really
difficult. It seems intractable with our life.
Almost impossible, but...
Yeah, to a certain extent, a lot of our health problems are the result of the environment that we live in, the air we breathe, the water we drink, the food we eat, etc., the thoughts we think, the conditioning, the fear. There's a zillion factors that will conspire to keep you from being 100% maximally healthy. So you do what you can do, and you do it at all levels. And this is true about everything.
Okay.
You do what you can do, and you do it at all levels. And by all levels, I mean spiritual, mental, emotional, physical. I know I said that before. I said that earlier. I can't reinforce it enough. Spiritual, mental, emotional, physical. All of them, you do what you can do. You take step by step, and you get better. Your marker of success, and every protocol, every program of change needs a marker of success, right? So you can see you're on the right track. Your marker of success is how you feel. You want to start feeling better and better, and when you plateau, then there's places you got to work, and plateaus do occur. But so you want to be heading in the right direction. That's your goal, and that's true about all health challenges. Okay?
And I have a question about digestive enzymes. I've been on a specific brand of digestive enzymes for like 3 months.
Yes.
And does the body get used to those things?
I don't know if it necessarily gets
something stronger.
You might need more. Try taking more. There's a sweet spot with digestive enzymes. For some people it's 8 with meals. Some people 6 with meals. It's called functional dosing to discover where the sweet spot is. You just keep upping your, you just keep increasing your dose until you don't notice any more improvement, and you stay at the dose where you notice the most improvement, and that's called functional dosing. Okay.
Okay, I'll try working on that.
All right, keep working at it, and you're lucky because your skin. Remember, your skin has a lot to do with it. So you're going to see differences in your skin. That's another thing. The skin is a very rapid indicator of eating the wrong food. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Good to
Thank
talk
you
to
so much for everything.
All right. Take care.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye. All right, that's Rhea in Japan, and let's go to Truth Raider in Portland, Oregon. What is going on, Truth Raider? How you doing, buddy?
Benjamin, I'm hanging in there and doing well, returning to homeostasis. 10 years ago today, I lost my beloved mama.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so it's just an anniversary day.
How fast did 10 years go by? Holy cow, I bet that seems like it was just yesterday.
I've been through a whole lot since that time. Yes. So I hope you give Mama your sweet Mama a kiss on the cheek from Truth Raider and tell her thank you for bringing Benny into the world. He's a good boy.
I appreciate that. I'm sure she'll appreciate that. Thank you, Truth Raider. What's going on, man?
Clicking jaw.
Well, you are just falling apart. Is that you you're talking about, clicking jaw?
Yeah, every once in a while I feel tension, and then I open my jaw and press a little bit on the cheek.
I know what you're saying. Yeah, well, it could have a lot to do with tension. You know, the strongest muscle in the body is the masseter muscle, which is the jaw muscle. You know,
correct.
So we hold a lot of tension in that masseter muscle. In fact, we hold a lot of tension in our face. There's, 80, 90 muscles. There's something like 80 or 90 muscles in the face. And you can actually do something called face yoga. Have you ever heard of this?
Oh,
it's great
no,
anti-aging strategy. Face yoga?
Tell me about that.
Yeah, well, yoga is when you hold different positions, different muscle positions. Well, you could do the same thing with the face. And it's really, when you think about it, it makes perfect sense. Face has muscles, and your hamstrings are muscles, and your glutes are muscles. And when you do regular yoga, you're holding muscle positions, you're holding muscle poses, and holding these muscle poses makes the muscles stronger. And at the same time, if you do it correctly, it also relaxes the muscles. Holding and relaxing and contracting have energizing effects and relaxation effects. They have both. They have strengthening effects and relaxation effects, and that's true about all muscles. And poor muscle control has a lot to do with chronic fatigue, depression, gut problems, stress, poor muscle control. So yoga is a tremendous thing you could do for just anti-aging the body and for keeping the body healthy, for everything from diabetes to skin problems. Well, guess what? You can also do anti-aging face yoga. Yes, there's anti-aging face yoga. You can hold there's all kinds of facial moves you can make, and you can just use your own creativity. If you hold your eyes upwards right now, you can feel a little stretch when you hold your eyes upwards. That is a great exercise for the muscles that control the eyes. Hold them upwards and then make them go downwards. Can you feel the tension when you hold them upward? As you're feeling the tension, there's more blood supply, there's more nerve innervation, there's lots of energy going into your eyes just by turning your eyes upward. In fact, turning your eyes upward also activates neurochemistry that will keep you from being depressed. It's hard to be depressed if you turn your eyes upwards. I think that's the music. Is that the music? Oh, my goodness. That is the music. Carl the Truth Raider. We'll have to have this discussion on another episode of The Bright Side. Face yoga, it's called. You can Google it. There's all kinds of things you can do for wrinkles and for crow's feet, and also to answer your question, for clicking jaw, and for TMJ, transmandibular joint TMJ, transmandibular joint inflammation. All right, that's it for now. Thanks for listening to The Bright Side, friends. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Check out our websites, brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, and criticalhealthnews.com for all the longevity products, and truthtreatments.com for our Truth Skin Health products, and truthnourishment.com for our nutritional supplements. Have yourselves a wonderful, beautiful, awesome, spectacular day. We'll talk to y'all later, folks. Bye for now.